Welcome to Create and Thrive by AdSense, a series where we inspire creators, publishers, and entrepreneurs to bring their business to the next level. I'm your host, Dani, and today we've invited Coco Mocoe, a content creator known for talking about rising stars, trends, and the ever-changing space of technology and online culture. Coco is here to share her thoughts on how the future of social media is all about niche creators. I want to let you know this series is brought to you by Google AdSense, a platform that helps you earn money from your content easily. Whether you're an independent creator or a larger business, AdSense displays relevant ads from trusted advertisers on your website, games, or other content. And before we jump in, let me tell you a story of two friends who started the website together. They created Spa and Beauty Today, a website to share real reviews and expert tips on spas, beauty, travel, and wellness. To support their growing business, they turned to Google AdSense, and it helped them more than double their earnings. This allowed them to focus on creating quality content while Google provided the right ads for their audience. This is how AdSense can help you thrive by focusing on what you love while monetizing your content. Now, let's get started and hear from Coco Mocoe.
Hi you guys, I'm Coco Mocoe and I work in marketing and media. I have made a career off of making videos, but also more specifically working with rising creators and stars online. And a really great part of this is seeing the different ways that so many different people make money online. And I'm so excited to be partnered with Google AdSense today, because we are going to be talking about my thoughts on why I believe that niche creators specifically last so long, and I'm going to include some examples, and how they are making money with Google AdSense. I made a presentation for you guys because I am visual. I don't know if you're visual, but I love being able to see the slides. So I put it down in writing for you guys, and we are just going to hop right in. So the table of contents for this video is going to be, number one, the problem with being a platform-only creator. A lot of creators get their start on platforms, but the smartest ones are the ones that are able to find a home base for their audience outside of something that's super out of their control. So we're going to be talking about specifically short-form fatigue with platforms and what I like to call object permanence. I know that is a psychology term, and I'm not a psychologist, but I love using it in terms of marketing. So we're going to start with that. And then the second topic is going to be why blogging and having a website is making a comeback. I really love the saying, like, as things change, they stay the same. And having your own website is so like Web 1.0, but it seems like we're really seeing that become a big thing again. And specifically, Google AdSense lets people monetize their own websites. So we're going to be talking about the longevity of written content and long videos which live on websites, and really just why audiences are craving a deeper connection and looking to creators that have these home bases outside of social platforms. The third topic is going to be specifically about niche creators, and what I always say, you guys call it a Cocoism now, but the nicher you go, the quicker you grow. And I really just want to talk about why niche creators thrive, not just on social media, but really with online websites and blogs, which are monetized through Google AdSense, and then also just like trendy versus timeless content, and why it's so important to make evergreen, timeless content that can live on a website that is monetized. And then lastly, I'm throwing in a little extra oomph for you guys because you love to come to me for advice and I love giving it. So we're going to be talking about how to never run out of ideas as a niche creator. That is one of the biggest things that I hear is, I started doing a certain niche and I feel like I'm running out of ideas. I feel like I don't know what to do anymore. And we've all been there, and that's so understandable. But there's a specific thing that I like to do to really have one video idea and turn it into 5, 10, 20 video ideas. And those ideas can all live on a website that is monetized. So that is what the video today is going to be about. Thank you guys so much, and thank you for supporting my partnership with Google AdSense. All right, moving into the first slide. As a platform-only creator, you are at the mercy of changing algorithms, trends, and so much more. You could wake up one day and a platform could be gone, no matter how popular it is. We've seen that with some big platforms, but the one thing that always sticks around is having a website, a home base. I keep calling it a home base. And what I mean by that is, say we wake up tomorrow, this isn't going to happen, but say we wake up tomorrow and every platform is gone, right? You want to have a place that your followers can find you and can gather and can figure out what your next steps are. And a great way to do that is a website, is a blog that is monetized. So that is what I'm referring to when I say a home base. And right now, platforms are rewarding a lot of short form content, which is great. And what I mean by short form content, that is vertical videos that are usually under 60 seconds. Short form content allowed for so many people to get their foot into the creator game who may not have been able to when it required producing long form and high quality content. So it's a great thing. I have a career because of short form content, and I'm so grateful to it. However, this short form content boom, we're kind of in the golden age, has it potentially led to oversaturation of content? And does it make it harder as a creator to stand out? And so many videos are uploaded every single minute about the same topics, about the same trends over and over again. And so as a creator, it is harder and harder to find ways to stand out. I always say that culture swings like a pendulum. The last few years, we've seen the rise of short form and quick content. So what happens when the pendulum swings the other way? We seem to be seeing that right now with the resurgence of websites and blogging, which are monetized through Google AdSense. As I said earlier, the quote, "As things change, they stay the same," and that was by a French journalist, Jean-Baptiste Alphonse Carr. Web 1.0 was defined by the rise of personal websites and blogs before social platforms began allowing people to create an online persona without the extra work. But now websites and blogging are easier than ever. I started my own blog last month, and it has truly been like one of the most rewarding things ever. I love that I can make content and do deep dives without worrying about lighting, mics, or trends and retention. A lot of the times I can just write my thoughts out. There are two reasons that I think creators should seek out their own website and monetize it with Google AdSense if they haven't already. Some of you guys might already, and this video is just me encouraging you to turn on Google AdSense so you can start making money through traffic. Now, the first thing is what I call short form video fatigue. Audiences are really craving a deeper connection than a viral 10-second video can provide. It's why as short form video is at its height, we also see the opposite trend at its height, which is like podcasting and now blogging. I think of short form versus long form content. It's kind of like fast food versus nutritious food. And don't get me wrong, I love fast food. I'll probably get some tonight. But it really is kind of this quick satisfaction. It's easy and it's quick to make. It's usually cookie cutter and predictable. So that short content is like fast food, but then the longer content, which is like maybe a website or a blog, it is the nutritious food. It might take longer to create and longer to see the fruits of the labor, but it is so much deeper and nutritious once it happens. It creates a healthier and longer lasting relationship between you and the audience. So two things can exist at once. You can have a website and have that like nutritious long form content that is monetized with Google AdSense, and you can still have the short form. You can have both, but it's important to have both and not just cut yourself off from one. Now, the other thing is what I like to say, object permanence in marketing. Audiences might not remember the last 10 short videos they saw while scrolling on a platform, but they probably do remember the last book they read, the podcast they listened to, a video essay they watched, or a blog post that they read. I keep thinking about a blog post I read today, and the title of it was, "The walls are not caving in on you, you're just outgrowing the room." And if that had been in a short video, maybe it would have stuck with me, but reading an entire blog post that this person wrote about that quote has really just, it stuck with me. So it's that object permanence. On top of that, algorithms will often surface very timely or trendy videos that have a shorter shelf life, whereas blogs and websites are evergreen and people can find value from them for longer, which I'll get into as well. And platforms come and go. A platform could be gone tomorrow. I hope not, but you never know. Whereas having a website that is monetized through Google AdSense is like one of the oldest, creator jobs in the game. And there's a reason it's lasted for so long. And so many people have been able to make, decade-long careers from this avenue. The next slide is all about why I believe blogging is making a comeback. Now, when I say blogging, I'm referring to just having any type of personal website that is monetized with Google AdSense. Now, this is all just kind of my own thoughts and theories, and I'd love to hear yours in the comments, but there's been a growing mistrust between creators and platforms. Not only that, but with potential bans floating around, creators are scrambling to find a way to have a home base for their audience that is not only a platform that can be gone in a second. And home base is where blogging and websites come in. In 2022, The Verge wrote an article titled "Bring Back Personal Blogging." And in it, they mention the art of storytelling and human connection, which seems to be lost in the pursuit of filters and AI. But like I said earlier, oftentimes trends that are opposite rise at the same exact time. So as we're seeing more cookie cutter and formulaic videos and social media getting viral, there's also going to be a hunger from audiences for something more nuanced, websites, something more, a deep dive that's unique to you. Websites and blogs are a way to give your audience a home base that isn't reliant on trends and algorithms that change by the minute. And you can monetize this home base with Google AdSense. For creators, it feels so refreshing to create content on a website without worrying about lighting, cameras, mics, beauty. For me, having a website, I'm able to just write down my thoughts as they come, and I will have people now when they meet me say, "I read this post from you," which is so cool. And so I think that it's just really refreshing to have a new way to monetize what I'm doing that isn't just about how well I did on an algorithm that day. Now we are going to talk about niche creators. And if you don't know what niche is, I'm guessing if you're watching this video, you're pretty well versed in the creator or marketing world. But it's essentially a term that is about like someone who is hyper specific. And online, I think people forget how important it is to know what your niche is, and you can always change it over time. But I always say, and you guys, again, call it one of my Cocoisms, the nicher you go, the quicker you grow. Some of the most niche creators online are not only the most followed, but they have the most longevity. An example of this would be a creator named Simply Nailogical, who's been making content for over 10 years now. Her videos were about her passion for nail art. That is so specific. It's such a specific topic. Now she has over 7 million followers on her biggest platform. That was an example of a creator that was not just chasing trends or at the mercy of an algorithm. And this translates as well to websites and blogs that are monetized through Google AdSense. It might sound so counterintuitive because the marketing advice online often has to do with chasing recent trends. And while this is a great way to grow in the short term, it might not solidify you as a long-term and profitable creator. And the whole point of me partnering with Google AdSense is really about, the hardest thing I think as a creator is becoming profitable. And Google AdSense is one of the, long-standing ways that the most successful and longevity creators are able to have consistent income. Oftentimes, the slow burn creators are the ones that build out relationships and habits to sustain a larger audience once their luck strikes. An example of this would be Mr. Beast. It took him over 5 years to hit 100,000 followers on his biggest platform. He was a slow burn, and now he's the biggest, and according to Forbes, the most profitable creator in the world. So if you're afraid of niching down and creating a website because you're like, no, I have to do the things that are trendy, that are timely, just know that having that slow burn and figuring out what your niche is what the biggest creators in the games did. Niching down is a way to hit a specific audience that might not have a ton of content being tailored to them just yet. Just because there aren't a ton of videos or blog posts on a topic doesn't mean people aren't searching for it. And that is why websites that are monetized with Google AdSense are great, because if someone is searching for something online, there's a chance that they couldn't find an easy answer on social media. And so they're seeking out a deep dive post about it. So usually if people are searching a topic, there's a big chance that they're already seeking out a niche answer. And not only that, but websites and landing pages allow you to deep dive into niche topics, and they reward you with more keywords to hit in search terms. And another point that I want to make is the trendy versus timeless. I love to say, but I really do love these, my brain works in these like quotes that I come up with, but I always say the opposite of trendy is timeless. The more timeless that your content is on the web, the longer it will be potent for traffic, which translates into more money with Google AdSense. Even if timeless content is more of a slow burn, at least it's still burning. Google AdSense allows you to monetize traffic no matter how quickly it catches on. So if you are a niche creator and you don't have a website yet that is monetized with Google AdSense, you are potentially missing out on not just a big chunk of money right now, but something that could still be making money for you 10 years down the line. There are still some websites online that if you search them and you pull them up, they could be something that was written 15 years ago, in like 2010. And that blog post is still making money from Google AdSense to this day. But there's a huge chance that, certain platforms might not even be around in 15 years, let alone have a 10-second video still monetized. So that is why it is so important. AdSense equals longevity as a creator. Now, I told you guys that I would leave a token at the end, which is how to never run out of ideas as a niche creator with a monetized website. And then in the next slide, I'm just going to include 2 screenshots of examples. So one of the things, I do this probably every single day, is use the trends.google.com website to search for the terms that you want to write about and see what other similar breakout search terms are suggested. And what they mean by breakout is say you search, and I did this on the screenshot in the next slide, is gardening. The breakout search terms will tell you other similar search terms that are also being looked up right now. One blog post idea that you have can turn into 3, 5, 10 blog post ideas. All monetize different pages with Google AdSense. And then the last tip is to turn on incognito mode on your browser and search a topic on Google. See what topics and suggestions surface at the top. Because if you do it in incognito mode, then you know that it is not being influenced by your past searches, and instead they are showing you the top terms by popular demand. That was one of my favorite tricks that I learned recently about how to, find topics that aren't just the same search terms I'm looking up personally over and over. Now, lastly, I'm going to show you guys the 2 screenshots. I tried to find like a pretty general search term, but also somewhat niche that I'd never looked up. and I did gardening. So say you have a website and you want to write blog posts about gardening. You might search it and then they give you those results that say gardening tools, gardening zones, gardening gloves, gardening services Los Angeles. So you can pull that and make 5 different posts. Like you can even make a post about like my favorite gardening services in my city. And then that landing page that you create is monetized with Google AdSense. And then I did the trends.google.com to see what the breakout searches were when I typed in gardening today. And they said FF14 gardening, epic gardening store, hydrangea, gardening journal, gardening zones map. So you could write a blog post about specific plants that are trending. You could write a blog post about going to a certain gardening store that's trending. You could write a different blog post about why you got a gardening journal. Like all of this is so valuable, and every single different post that you make, every different website landing page that you create is monetized through Google AdSense. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I'm guessing if you're watching this, you yourself are already a niche creator. So let me know down below what you consider your niche to be, or maybe if you haven't created yet, what niche you would want to go into. And don't forget that the creators that have the most longevity and long careers are the ones that have websites that are monetized with Google AdSense. Thank you all so much, and let me know your thoughts below.
That's a wrap for this episode of Create and Thrive by AdSense. A huge thank you to Coco Mocoe for being our speaker today. If you enjoyed this session, be sure to watch the rest of the series. As Coco mentioned, niche creators can thrive without relying on trends and algorithms. With Google AdSense, you can monetize your unique content and build a sustainable income stream. Get started at adsense.google.com. If you don't have a website, create one with our partners like Wix or Blogger to start earning and start thriving. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.